Guys, we are only 3 months away from the iPhone 16 being released, and the leaks just keep pouring in, showing off new designs, new colors, a better display, new buttons, enhanced cameras, and Apple themselves giving us a sneak preview of what the iPhone 16 and iPhone 16 Pro will be capable of with new Apple Intelligence features, as well as some new AI features that may have yet to be announced. And the more I look at this iPhone lineup, the more I compare it to previous years, I think this is going to be one of the biggest changes to how we use our iPhone, and it's going to end up as one of the most hyped iPhone launches because we are getting mainstream AI in a smartphone, all on device. It's gonna be crazy. And this all starts with the most mainstream AI phone we have seen yet, the iPhone 16. The regular model, which usually doesn't receive that much love, is finally finding its own unique footing this year. And I think it may have a chance at being a more popular option this year, and I could even see some Pro users opting for this model instead. First of all, while the physical design of the iPhone 16 is very similar to last year's, I mean, it's still an aluminum phone with a glass front and back. The colors are going to change a bit. Supposedly it's going to be in black, green, pink, blue, and white this time, but it's still getting some important design updates. This includes the removal of the mute switch in favor of the action button that the iPhone 16 Pro received last year that let users map their own commands to it. Another change is going to be haptic buttons rather than physical moving buttons. Now, normally I'd be pretty scared about Apple switching to pure haptics, but given they did such a great job on the iPhone 7's home haptic button and the haptic click for the Magic Trackpad, I actually think these are still gonna feel like regular button clicks and may lead to even more enhanced waterproofing or generally more durability, as haptic buttons are less likely to break than physical moving buttons. Speaking of buttons, something that both the iPhone 16 and iPhone 16 Pro will receive this year is a new capture button. This will be an additional control on the bottom right side of the iPhone, and rumors say it will be a dedicated camera control. The capture button also appears much longer than the action button, and leaks say it's for the new capacitive technology to unlock even more features, like being able to slide your finger along the capture button to use as a zoom control for your photos. It's actually weird because I remember a few years back, people were scared about the idea of Apple removing ports and buttons from future iPhone models. And now we're going to have more physical controls on an iPhone than ever before. It will also be receiving a new vertical camera arrangement that gives the iPhone 16 a bit of a design shakeup from the back. I actually really like how the dual camera design looks on the regular models. It really does give an easy visual distinction between the regular and the Pro models, and it looks super clean in these renders. Now, this isn't just a design change for design's sake. The new vertical arrangement will allow the iPhone 16 to shoot spatial video for the Vision Pro. Another reason why I think the iPhone 16 design is going to be popular this year is because Apple's keeping it the same size, 6.1 inches on the regular model, 6.7 inches on the Max model. And as we get to talking about the iPhone 16 Pro models, you're gonna see that they're actually moving up in size. So if Apple's keeping these sizes the same for people that prefer smaller phones, I actually think the 6.1 inch model is going to be highly appealing this year. Strangely enough, while on most years we focus on the outward changes to the iPhone, the most important changes this year are actually on the inside. And that's because of the new Apple Intelligence features that Apple announced at WWDC. A lot of these AI features run directly on device, and they require a powerful chip. In fact, the only phone that can use Apple Intelligence right now is the iPhone 15 Pro. Even the regular 15, the phone that was released just alongside the 15 Pro, does not gain access to these new Apple Intelligence features. And unlike last year, where the iPhone 15 got an older A16 chip, this year Apple plans to bring the A18 chip to the regular iPhone models. The memory upgrade on the regular iPhone models will also be bumping up from 6 gigabytes to 8 gigabytes of memory. I am sure this is so the iPhone 16 can run all of the Apple Intelligence features that Apple announced, and possibly even more features that Apple hasn't announced yet, which we will talk about more towards the end of this video once we talk about the 16 Pro. Now, before we talk about the Pro, I know that's the exciting phone. I just want to say that the iPhone 16, I think, is going to be highly important this year because it's going to be the lowest cost iPhone to run Apple Intelligence features. And if these features are as useful as I think they're going to be, this is going to drive mass market adoption of these new phones, and people are going to opt to spend a little bit more rather than the lower cost models that will be on the market alongside of it. What I mean by that is when Apple releases new phones, there's a large market segment that will go for the cheaper price phone. So when Apple releases the iPhone 16, the 15 is going to remain in the lineup, usually at like a $100 price cut. But I think this year, people are going to just spend that extra $100 because people don't want to be left out of this AI wave, especially now that people keep their phones longer than ever. Most people want to future-proof their technology, and the only way to do that is to buy one of the iPhone 16 models. I also think the regular 16 could be an even more popular option this year because Apple is keeping the same screen sizes with a 6.1 and 6.7-inch display for the Plus model. Some people, including myself, think the iPhone models are verging on getting a little too big. However, I acknowledge that most people are excited for big phones, and that's where the iPhone 16 Pro comes in, which is going to be Apple's biggest iPhones ever. That's because the 6.1-inch Pro phone is moving up to 6.3 inches, and the 6.7-inch phone is moving up to 6.9 inches. Yeah, I know, people want bigger and bigger phones, and these are going to be the biggest iPhones ever, which means that these are going to be extremely popular models to upgrade to as well. Apple is also tweaking the designs to help offset some of the physical size increases on these phones, and Apple is making the bezels even smaller on the 16 Pro, and when this is released, it will have the smallest bezels out of any smartphone on the market. Apple's also refining the design even more by switching from a matte finish on the titanium frame to a more polished look that could mimic the shiny, glossy design of the previous stainless steel models with all the benefits of the lightweight titanium frame. There's also going to be some new colors for the titanium finish with a rose gold-like color called Desert Titanium and a new darker black titanium option. The iPhone 16 Pro will also get haptic buttons and the new capture button, just like the regular 16 model. However, there's going to be some big camera upgrades this year to the Pro models, with the smaller Pro now getting the same 5x lens as the larger Max model, and both Pro models getting a brand new ultra-wide-angle camera with a 48 megapixel resolution, which is going to be a massive jump up in quality. Just like the regular 16, I think the biggest change this year, though, is on the inside, with the 16 Pro gaining an A18 chip. However, the A18 chip in the 16 Pro was rumored to be even stronger than the regular A18 chip going in the iPhone 16. And obviously, I think this A18 Pro chip may gain an extra CPU core or GPU core, which would be better for other general performance tasks besides artificial intelligence, namely more intensive tasks like gaming. However, even though that Pro chip will be stronger, I highly suspect that both phones this year are going to really focus on neural engine capabilities. And I think the A18 and A18 Pro will probably have the same neural engine, so both are just as fast with new Apple Intelligence features. And really, when you look at all of it, these are the biggest changes coming to the new iPhone models because most existing iPhone users do not own an iPhone 15 Pro. So the iPhone 16 and 16 Pro are going to be the first mass market offerings that are capable of running new Apple Intelligence features. These features include simple and fun things, like being able to generate AI images of your friends and family, to being able to generate AI to make your own custom emojis of anything. This emoji feature in particular, I think, is going to be a big mainstream feature. It's not life-changing, but people rush out to update their iPhones just to get a new set of emojis, so the fact that you could just generate any emoji you want is going to make people want this phone. It's going to be a very popular feature. Apple Intelligence can also help when you're writing in apps, letting you rewrite your writing to make it more friendly, more professional, or in my long-winded case, more concise, as well as being able to just give you a text summary, focus on key points, make a table, or list your writing. The biggest AI boost, though, is happening with Siri. Siri is getting a huge boost with Apple Intelligence, and you will now be able to communicate more naturally with Siri. It is aware of your personal context, it can take action across apps, and even has knowledge about all of your Apple products, so it can tell you how to activate certain settings or activate certain features and put Greg's Gadgets out of a job telling you how to use your phone. Great. I also think the key strength to Apple Intelligence is that it works proactively in the background, so it can surface urgent notifications or emails to the top of your list. Apple Intelligence will also help with summarizing the vast amount of information we get on a daily basis, so it can summarize a long group message thread or a longer email with just the important information. Now, yeah, the features may not sound like anything special if you compare it to other forms of artificial intelligence, but again, it's Apple's implementation of them on device that makes them special. Apple Intelligence doesn't need to be fed your relationships with other people or your location or your photo library. It already has all of that information on device. So it can provide a level of personal awareness and context that other AI apps or AI chatbots would never be able to provide. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. There are clearly more Apple Intelligence features coming. And I almost wonder if maybe we weren't shown everything that Apple Intelligence was capable of because the chips weren't powerful enough yet. And maybe we will see even more Apple Intelligence features when Apple shows off these new, faster A18 chips. And that is really, really exciting because let's face it, the last few years of iPhone updates, even though they have added good and compelling features and the iPhone has gotten better and better and better every single year, the overall experience, the overall way you use your iPhone has not changed. And Apple Intelligence changes that. It is an entirely new way to use our iPhones with entirely new capabilities. And while people have been complaining for years and years and years about the iPhone feeling the same and having no reason to upgrade their existing phones, this year, it finally feels different. So I better not hear any complaints that nothing's different, because it is different. It's different. It's different. And the best part is we really don't have that much longer to wait to see these phones and what they're capable of. The iPhone 16 and 16 Pro are going to launch probably at Apple's September event, and I assume the price point will be about the same, $800 for the iPhone 16, $1,000 for the iPhone 16 Pro. But let me know in the comments below, are you excited for the iPhone 16 and the iPhone 16 Pro, and what model do you plan on getting? You plan on going big this year? You plan on going small this year? You going normal? You going Pro? I want to know. Also, don't forget to like the video, sub to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Big things planned for this year, huge things. Maybe next year. Maybe big plans for next year too. It's AI, right? It's AI. I'm AI. I'm not real anymore. I'm a program. Hate to break it to you. This beautiful face is fake. I mean, there's no one on earth that could be this beautiful, let's face it.